boom. It's like it's not complete.
It kind of sounds like it's incomplete, right?
Yes.
I don't know.
You
Hi.
guys can do your own.
Yes.
It's
Am I
incomplete.
live?
No, you're not.
I am live.
We
Mhm.
are live.
We're all live. Hello,
Hi,
people.
guys.
Live.
Present, sir. Ronke Posh. Hey, hey.
Roncos. My
Hello,
own person.
everybody.
Yeah.
Hi.
Very soon, very soon, very soon.
What's going to happen very soon?
I don't know.
We are
Something
going
is
to see
going
the
to happen
king.
very soon.
Hey. If you ask one question during the week that if something about Jesus myself.
Feminism much more broader scale
Even at home.
and scope.
For me, it's also at home as well.
the
If my husband
conversation.
sees that I'm competent in doing something, then he should allow me do it. If I know a bit more than him in a top on the topic, and I have more skills to do something, then award me the contract. Award me the contract to do
I
it.
think it must have been born out
As
of
friends, same thing.
yeah. I think it must have been as a result of what women were subjected to, over time, because
Charlesy.
we've been studying the group called Quakers,
Yeah.
and Quakers were the first group actually in America that began to advocate for gender equality.
Yeah.
So I think feminism, from what I've studied, was meant to be, exactly what you said. The quest to say, we're all made in God's image, so we're supposed to be equal partners and not servant slave kind of thing. To say people who believe in gender equality, who believe in respect for humanity. That's what I thought it was meant to be, until I began to see the different the new shades, and now
Wrongs.
I am officially
Rounding up.
confused.
I'm finished. If you're officially confused, I don't know. Buki, what do you
Well, I think that the idea of feminism was noble because initially, you have men and women in society, and society is made up of male and female. So to say that men should have the upper hand or should be at a greater advantage just because they're men and they should get the top of the crop because they get education because they are men, women folk, for me doesn't make any sense in today's world. And even though we still see signs of patriarchy because it is embedded in our society, economically, politically. In fact, that's even like the biggest,
It's always
the
even
biggest
been
thing.
in every society, not just in
No,
Nigeria.
I'm not talking about Nigeria. I'm
Okay.
talking about
Globally,
yes. So we still see bits of it, but it's not as it was back in the day.
So my question is, can women really give the same thing as men? I don't want to say quality because yes, they can give quality, but can they give the same amount of work time? And I'll give an example. A man and a woman have to travel, right? They're both married. They have children, separate companies. The man, all he needs to do is go home, tell his wife he's traveling, pack his bags, and he tells the company, I'm ready to go. The woman has to say to the company, you need to give me a couple of days to put my house in order. I need to be able, or even if it's one day, right? I need to go home, pack my stuff, and settle everybody, and then go. Now, so the man doesn't feel that he needs to give that give the same thing that the woman is giving, because all he just told, my wife is at home, she will support and blah blah blah, and she goes. Now, would it then be I don't want to use the word right also,
Or fair.
or fair maybe, to then say that we can actually do the same, because on some days our hormones are all over the place, some days we're on our period, some days we get pregnant, right? The man is just up and go. The woman has to first of all calibrate herself. If it's a woman that has morning sickness, so the first 3 months, first of all. So can we then say that we should be given the same opportunities when sometimes we really cannot do some of the things that the man will just, like in my office, my oga can just say, you're following me to travel now. And immediately the guys are up. If he tries it, he doesn't even try it with us. But if he does, he'll say, I know that, okay, so go home. And, but so the difference is immediately clear.
I don't, let me break it down a bit.
Yeah.
So there are a few things being mixed up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
You are talking about a woman who has taken up the role of the wife.
Yes.
There are women who have not taken up that role yet.
Yes. That's why I said married.
And those ones can actually do these things that you're talking about.
Yes.
right?
Even the ones that are married get up and do it. So
Depending on the support you have from your spouse and the
Yes.
agreement you guys have,
Yes.
right? Because we have a lot of women in the boardroom, and let's not forget that when the environment that is responsible for your socialization has not given you the opportunity to actually try out what you can do, you may never know what you're capable of doing. So before now, there was no woman who was a board chairman many years ago. Many years ago, when the concept of breadwinner started from the UK after the Second World War, to say, let us keep women at home, let men go to work, and let the children also stay out of work. Now, so that women can take care of children and the family. Now, it meant there were women who had the potential, even wives, who had conglomerates buried inside of them, who had the capacity to, because we need to ask, what was the opportunity cost of those kind of rules?
Right.
How did they arrive at those things?
Right.
So if you have, gone through generations and generations and generations of people have conscripted you into a particular role, into a particular mode, you will not know yourself anymore. In fact, if you are capable of being a board chair and they tell you are capable, you will disqualify yourself and say no, which is why you would see that when women even shout about women empowerment, go to some parts of the eastern part of Nigeria, where when a woman dies, the women who will ensure that the widow goes through the traditional are women, are not even men. They are the ones that will scrape her head and the things like that. So I do not think that we will be right to say that she can't do what the man is capable of doing when she has not been tested.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
Now, if you have a wife, if you have a husband who is truly a husband, the groomer of the bride,
we don't have many.
And we don't have many. So that's and you can't now say because we don't have many now create
Now
another.
stop this.
So who understands that? Hey, I mean, because if you are a military man as a woman and your husband knows you're a military man, do you think military will think there's war in Afghanistan? They'll say it's a woman. No. Obey the last. Your husband already, I mean, is aware that you are already dead. That she married a
It's
dead.
just privileged to see you from time
You
to
understand?
time.
So he knows that. So it depends on where you're working. It depends on, and because we have generally accepted certain things. If you see where Chinese women work, sometimes you will trade and you understand that, hey, this thing is not cast in stone. But I get where you're coming from. What's that?
it's Leslie. Leslie says there are 3 types of feminism: mainstream or liberal, radical, and cultural.
So
Said the Tory plenty.
so eventually when you look at it, you would realize that if you have not tested, I may be the greatest footballer in the world, but if the environment, I mean, let me not even give that example. I may have ice hockey inside of me.
Or skater.
Maybe there's still skating in Nigeria. Ice hockey is in my blood.
Oh my God.
Potentially, I am the global champion of ice hockey.
Potentially.
Potentially. But I live in Nigeria. I will never experience ice hockey. I will join football until I go to Canada,
Yes.
where I see ice hockey everywhere.
Yes.
So,
If you have the
so your
opportunity,
destiny sometimes is environment
truncated.
sensitive. So you cannot pass a step. So when people talk and sometimes they say, hey, women are this, they have not been tested in certain rules. And now we are testing women. You in fact notice that the trend. GT Bank just appointed a female CEO, right? Yes. Now, why are they doing that? Yes, competence-wise, a lot of women are becoming more competent. But I also think that
IQ-wise.
not even IQ-wise, the banks are beginning to discover that it's easy for a man to get into scandal and affect the reputation of the bank
Right.
than for a woman. So
Even if she does, she will hide it.
so and the man is not likely going to come out to say this woman, I'm the one sleeping with her.
Yes.
But a lady is likely going to come out to say this man.
Yeah.
So you can see where this is tilting to. So I do not think that the women cannot do those things. However, there are basic things a man can do that a woman cannot do. A man can release semen. A woman will accept the semen. She can't give semen. So those differences are there. But I don't think it's strong enough for us to now. Because for me, let the best of us lead the rest of us, irrespective of the gender. Because some people tell you a woman cannot lead. I say, says who? A woman cannot do this. Says who? Where did you get it from? But
some people will say from the Bible, isn't it? That women are meant to keep quiet.
No.
Men are meant to teach.
Paul was talking about a crisis situation in a particular location. Let me tell you, people read Bible sometimes don't understand Bible. The book of Corinthians was written to a geographical location called Corinth, based on their situation, because Paul has gone there. It may not be applicable to Nigeria. Now, where you now find the parts that are applicable to your situation in Nigeria, you pick it. But it didn't mean that they wrote it for you. They didn't write it to you. They wrote it to Corinthians. That's why the book of Corinth. Ephesians. There's a town called Ephesus. It was written to Ephesus. Thessalonica was written to it was not written to Ojodu. It was not written to Omole Estate. It was not. But the way we carry this thing, we just pretend as if it was written to us. He had us. He was writing from. He was writing from prison, for crying out loud. Over a crisis situation. Now he says, I do not permit women to teach because of a crisis situation. Maybe feminism was breaking out and it was becoming a crisis situation. And he says women should keep quiet. Right? I don't agree with that. But that's the people in Corinth.
But it was for that time, for that era.
If Paul had lived here right now, it would have.
Imagine that there were phones in that
yes.
technology.
It would have.
There was.
It would have done a lot of things differently.
Kind of
But people just slap all kinds of, and they confuse themselves at the end of the day. But you say the myth of the matter is, what exactly do we want? I think this world of man world, women world is what is killing us.
Yeah.
And I think some people are playing on our intelligence by creating that imbalance intentionally, money to justify, because this thing is very simple enough. If she's my wife, it's our home, it's our money, right? If my wife does something, I'm the one that does it.
Good, you even mentioned that when you say it is our money.
Yeah.
Is it something that we really can do?
Our money.
When I had this conversation with my husband, can we really do one flesh?
Why not?
But then that one flesh will mean different things to each family, isn't it?
Well, again, you see,
this is just going off feminism.
No, but we can talk about it. When people say,
I'm just here to listen today, guys.
When people say my money is my money, it actually goes against the concept of couple. And exactly the way I explain coupling or couple is the easiest way I've understood this is when you take your car to the mechanic, right? They first break everything down. Then when they want to put it together, what they say is we are coupling together. So they don't know gearbox from engine, from this thing, because everything needs to work together, right? So the moment you begin to say my within a coupling, what is happening is resource control agitation. So you are saying Niger Delta, we must control our oil. You are not producing anything, then that contradicts nationhood. So the fundamentals question we need to be asking is it that people who don't trust themselves are getting married to themselves?
But then let's look at it from this point. So our money, right?
Yeah.
We then say, I want to buy, for example, new pair of glasses. You say, I have 15 pairs of glasses. Why do I want to buy another pair of glasses? It's
my money.
So
let's discuss this.
Oh my God.
No, sorry, we'll go back to feminism. He says he wants to send money to his dad. My mom also is asking for money. And we then say, well, daddy's own is more important than your mommy's own. How is that? But if we had separate stills, you can do what you want to do.
I can do what I want to do.
And we're healthy.
So if that works for your family, it's okay. But I'll tell you what I see. When I got married, and this is, my wife is comfortable with me sharing this. When we got married, I was the one in charge of family finance because I still have the ego of the African man. You are
lion of the tribe.
She was making more money, by the way, and she was giving it to me, and I was presiding over the money, and I wasn't taught to save. I was taught to give.
Spend.
So I'm the one that would say, oh, do you want to build a church? I can give $1 million. I'll go and stand in front. So then I started. They didn't chop my money. I sold my money. Then I began to train banks. Those were days that I was training bank PHP. They'll pay me like 300K per day. Every time I show up, 300K. So I could do like 3 times in a week, and I earn like 600K. But I didn't know how to save. So I was still in charge. So I was doing everything, but we had fundamentals we had agreed on. which is this is how much we had budget for everything,
Right.
but I was overshooting the budget. By the year end, our finance automatically reset to zero. Then we start the rat race again. Until year 3, we went to play a game, Cash Flow 101. And during the game, I realized that my wife was making better financial decisions. In fact, we won the game because of her.
Right.
It dawned on me that she was a better money manager. So we handed money over to her.
Right.
So what my wife did.
She behaved like Oloede that is doing the job right now.
So what my wife did was to create so we have different roles. I'm the president of the nation. She's the vice president of the nation. She created a budget for the office of presidency, created a budget for the office of the vice presidency. So let's say my office, the vote to my office was 200K. Our own was 200K, right? Then the rest, she had what you call like 7 jars. This must go into investment. This must go into entertainment and blah, 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 blah. Now, you can only spend
the one that is
allocated to you.
Yes.
So if you finish it ahead of time, so there was
the
first month was very terrible because I quickly finished it.
You're not begging for money.
Now, inside that allocation is your fuel, is your lunch at work,
right,
and whatever you want to. So if you want to sow seed, you can also beyond.
Is this money
because my wife says that.
And you can sow all.
Oh, it's your choice, right? So my wife says that you want to start to practice looting the family's resources.
Yes,
so when I quickly finished it, and I was looking, so I said, please, can you help me? Can you help the president? So she asked me a question, said, do you want me to take from the money for our vacation and give you your portion?
Right.
So that when it's time for vacation, we leave you here. That didn't sound right. He said, do you want to take from entertainment?
Yeah.
So that when we're going to see a movie, you will stay at home. It didn't sound right. So I said, what can I do? Okay, he said, except you can now go and work extra hard and make above what you are supposed, or he said, you want to take a loan?
Yes.
He said, because I can give you a loan, but you pay back with interest.
Right.
Now she was teaching me financial discipline and accountability. Right?
Oh,
so
see.
I had to humble myself. See, by the following month, people that I usually will say, as in, praise, let's go and do lao. I said, lao kill you there. Which kind of lao? But I became very good. Now, after about 2 years, I'd perfected it because once I learned something, I've learned it. Then I'll be coming from my wife will now say, so I buy something. So I ask her,
do you want me to remove it from
and they say, I'm your wife now, can't I said, no, you have voted money to my portfolio, except you now begin to vote another money for your surprise. But I learned, and that helped us because when assets now started to show because of that financial discipline. Now, I realized how tough it was for a lot, because a lot of men, their identity is tied to their control over money. So when they don't have control over money, it's as if their life has been taken away from them.
They are sick. They are tired. They are frustrated.
Because of money. Meanwhile, it's not supposed to be like if you are a couple, you should know that you mean well for yourself, right? And you are willing to. So if she had voted money for me and I wanted to buy 6 pairs of glasses, I can take from that money and go and buy. Because you see, if you say the family is a nation, whatever we are bringing, it's our internally generated revenue. It must go in the direction of our family economy. So you need to ask yourself, is it pleasure now and pain later, or pain now and pleasure later? Because we want to grow old together. We don't want to get to age 60 and begin to look for jobs up and down. You want to plan your life and things like that. So for me, now this may not work for it because some people have not conquered that ego. Me, I'm dead to ego. I don't have shame now. I can.
That's one of my prayers. God, kill all my ego.
You don't used to pay me. I will make money like this. My money will be in my account. And because my wife acts access, she will mop it. You will see. You will see. And because I love to see money in my account. I hate it when.
Because you're like,
I will see bank page has paid 0.1 million like this. I'll be feeling cool. The next minute, I'll just see 200K for where? I'll just see like 60K. Something will be doing my body to say, let us scatter this arrangement. It's not working for me. It's not working for me. But I'm very grateful because it's taught me a whole lot right now. To realize that, you see, there is nothing my money, it's our money, and and it's taught me to be very accountable, because it's so
So
everything.
many people want
She
to be
sees
accountable.
everything through my
Yeah.
account and where money is being dispatched to. So I said, if I'm sending to any site, if you can see,
But you can create another account.
how do I create
because
the
that
account?
one is not-
She knows everywhere. In fact, there was a case that was going to happen. Someone wanted to pass money through my account. I didn't know it was money laundering. The person just called me, an old friend, said, I said, how much? She said, 60 million.
Wow.
I said to her, I said, my wife will receive the credit.
And
She
she
will-
will ask me.
I said, she won't even mop it, this one. She'll first call my mentor to say, sir, your
Your
mentee
son is stealing.
has started stealing. He has joined Yahoo. So for me, I think I think it's a premarital discussion
Yeah.
that people never have. And I think it's a discussion they need to begin to have to say, and and also the other caveat here is, if you have not grown to that level, if what works for you is, some people say, keep joint account. I can't keep joint account. I don't like joint account. Keep your account, keep my account. Let us have a federation account where we mop everything into, then you redistribute.
Yeah.
Because also it can be very painful when, especially in some families where the wife is the only one working.
Yeah.
This guy sits at home doing nothing, and you are taking lion's share. Then we are on sponsorship list or welfare.
So would you then call that situation?
We have moved.
I know.
way-
No, we are coming back,
I'm
but it's very.
I'm bringing it
it-
back.
it's
I'm
very-
bringing it back.
Alright.
Would that woman then be seen as a feminist? His wife, for
for
example, standing her ground to say, Tosin saying, this is what we should do and this is how we're going to do it, right? And would they be seen as that?
a woman is not a feminist. Feminism is a concept. It's not gender centric,
Right.
right? Feminism states that we are equal,
Yeah.
right? And equality is about respect for humanity.
Yeah.
That I'm looking at Bukola, and I don't think she's insulting me by asking me question a human being should ask,
Yeah.
right? Some people feel insulted when you ask them how much do you earn.
Yeah.
It's a normal question.
Yeah.
I mean, why is that too much for you to say? What do you have to hide?
Yeah.
If you are earning, I'm not earning anything, say it. But
Well, because also people are afraid, they don't want people to ask them for money.
so it's a problem for me when you look at a woman, you don't even know the content of a character. You already assume that you are superior because you have penis. Something is wrong with you. Something is fundamental. So the concept of feminism for me is respect for humanity. That we are, in fact, it pays us for us to be equal, because it now means that we can do a whole lot together than for me to be looking at you and be looking down. No. I want friendship. I want collaboration. I want us to be able to do things together. If you bring 1 billion and I bring 1 billion, it helps us
That's too big.
than for me to be going around and be slaving. And the concept, when you understand that, it will no longer be a problem. If you are the better parent when it comes to children, it won't be a problem for you to say, wife, your wife is a better business person. Respect for humanity is to say, culture and tradition says women are the ones to stay at home. But I say in this nation, it has been proven that you are the better business person. I'm the better when it comes to playing with children. Maybe I'm even better in cooking. Yeah, I've won cooking competition, but I'm not cooking at home, right? So, sweetheart, you have my support. Go at the
And do
highest
your
level, become everything you want to be. I would, I could love this before, so that's what I understand by feminism, except this other one that is looking like it's shaming and shaming men, and I don't understand. That's why I'm a bit confused.
The one that
Okay,
confuses
so-
me. Okay, yeah, speak.
Yeah. So just to Leslie mentioned before that there are types of feminism, which is true. Just to give a few definitions, and I'm going to talk about something. Well, I'll say I think
We should have Leslie in the studio one of these days.
Yes.
Principal, we are bringing you to the studio.
Yes, you should join us for sure. So there's liberal feminism. Liberal feminism says that, so it works within the structure of mainstream society. So this is mainstream or liberal feminism to integrate women into that structure.
Which is what we are talking about.
Yeah, its roots stretch back to the social contract theory of government instituted by the American Revolution, whatever that is. But yes, so liberal or mainstream feminism is the one that works within the structure of society to integrate women into that structure.
What structure?
Whatever structure. So if you're working within the structures that are play within that society.
Yeah, proposing equality for women, and that's the
Yeah.
On Saturday when we're having a meeting, Prof
which
said,
is which is like the basis of it, right?
yeah,
I was saying I was going to play something, or anyway, so Erelu Fayemi, yes, she wrote a book called Loud Whispers, and it was basically her concept and her idea of look, women were brought up, or girls were brought up to speak just below a whisper.
Yeah.
But she didn't grow up that way. Her father was more a champion of
Speaking of your mind.
of his daughters speaking their mind. And all of that. So it's called Loud Whispers, and she was on chapters with Toyin Kojoyemade, and she was asked what was her definition of feminism, and she said it is a global struggle against all forms of patriarchal oppression. Excuse me. And there was something else she said. I'm trying to get it. A second.
So I'm just
so it will come up. Then this other form of feminism is
radical.
Yes, radical, which is what we're focusing on today, really. Radical feminism provides an important foundation for the rest of feminist flavors.
So there are now different flavors.
Yes, there are different flavors, seen by many as the undesirable element of feminism, which is it's like extreme, which is the one that is the breeding ground for many of the ideas arising from feminism, ideas which get shaped and pounded out in various ways by other but not all branches of feminism. So it's like the conversation that we're having today of how women are saying we don't need men no more. We can exist without men. We can even have children without.
But they can't have children without men.
Yes,
so that's the sperm from the
culture. It is against
It's not
so
meant to be.
it's the struggle of feminism is not like the idea of it is not men versus women. It is against a society. It's against it's against systems.
Yeah.
That are, whether they are political, whether they are cultural, whether they are religious, economical, whatever it is, it's a fight against systems. And it's regardless of it being hijacked by a group of people, right? It's still a fight, and it's still relevant.
And boys,
today.
who are the leaders of that movement? Because you can't on one side, which is where. So take for instance. And this is not a good example, So
So don't try it.
I like that
no.
caveat.
On one side, you say Islam is a religion of peace, but the terrorists chant Allah Akbar, right? If I was a Muslim, I will go against the terrorists and say you are destroying our because silence will make it look like maybe you are consenting to this. So you cannot say feminism is about a fight against a system. Then a branch has now become more prominent. They show up consistently. They say men are scum. We don't need men. Men are useless. Men are this. Men are that.
All men are.
And the ones that are doing it right are keeping quiet.
But are they keeping quiet?
So you hijack your movement back. And because I mean, if you begin to
the other people, their voices are now louder.
I'm not going. You grant to say no. This is no, and you begin to educate people because the new people are. Many of them are celebrities. They have the voice, they have the whatever, and so they are, and because
social media has amplified.
So they begin to say men are useless, men are this, men are that, because it's now looking like it's a fight against that, which is why there are concepts I don't like. There are concepts like I get into a place and a woman is talking. And maybe she's just been appointed and she said, I'm the first female accountant. Excuse me, we don't need that. You are qualified. Why do we need you to tell us you are the first female?
Because
can't we see that you are a female?
No, but that's not the point.
You may not know that this is actually the first woman that has been appointed to
I don't think we need that. You don't need to
I'm sorry. I think that it is important in our society today because of how marginalized women have been. And this is not me saying that women must have
who is marginalizing women?
It's systemic.
Religion.
It is systemic.
I think
from culture and religion. It is systemic. It is a systemic pandemic.
It looks like that, but I will disagree with you, and I'll disagree with you in the sense that look at during the pandemic, you hear this pastor say they want to kill us. They want to. I'm asking who are they? Where's their address?
What's their name?
Well, you don't know. You can't. So you have not mentioned one name. You don't know the address. So when you say they, it's something that has been planted in your head, which you have come to believe that they are. I mean, fella sang, "Animal one dash us human right. Human right now, my property. You can't give me human right." So when you create that thing that says, "Oh, they are against us. They're against us," so. For every Nigerian census says men are more than women. We know it's not true, because every meeting I've gone to, I've seen more women.
I think now that women is not 7-1. Women are 1 man to 7 women. Now.
So whatever it is. So look at it. Women say they are marginalized, right? But in every movement, you have more women than men, isn't it? Now, women say we are marginalized. But if a woman comes out to say, I want to vote, women will not vote for her. So you cannot say it's men who are now marginalizing women. Women need to look at themselves.
Ask themselves.
You see a lady comes into a place and she's catwalking. Women are the ones that will say she's proud. What's wrong with that? See the way she's doing her leg like tolo. Women
What's she even wearing?
are the ones who will. So a man who cannot control himself is asking another woman out. She's married to another woman, but you still say yes. And you now say men are marginalizing us. So men are in that equation. So when you look at it, it's a convenient argument to say that we are marginalized. It makes it look, pity us, pity us. But you see, nobody's going to give you power a la carte. You've got to take power and say, you know what?
I like that. Nobody's going to give you power a la carte.
Yeah.
Yay! Keep going.
You know, you have to take power by organizing yourself to say, you know what? Okay,
let's come together.
They won't make us CEO of a bank.
Let's make ourselves.
Can we create our own bank?
Yeah.
If I create my own bank, am I going to appoint a man there?
Yeah.
Right? I'm not.
Yeah.
But we are going to say, can we promote competence? Because what I hear women say oftentimes is, give us a space in the National Assembly, give us 50%.
So I ask, there were powerful women.
Yes.
Queen Amina.
Yes.
There was the Shango Oya.
Yes.
They're powerful women.
Yes. The Efushetu Aniwura.
Even women.
Efushetu Aniwura even had slave
in the
men.
market, you have Iyaloja, what they call them. They're powerful women. So really, did they really take that power away from us?
Powerful women, but is it in places? So when you talk about Iyaloja, it is. So if you think about the political class, right, the political power.
Okay, this person saying feminism is good, but it needs to be defined better, especially scope of what it aims at. I agree with you. Thank you.
You
say Iyaloja?
Yes, Iyaloja, right? So why Iyaloja?
We should be Babaloja.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying this is my personal view, right? So I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
We are now saying Boko Haram is killing us, right?
Now.
Women are marginalized. Let women give us solution and go out and face Boko Haram and kill Boko.
Calm down. Stop this.
No, we're looking at our.
When it's time to face Boko Haram, you are looking at.
Can you please allow us to watch? Like I said to a friend of mine, I said, some people went to war. Some people live to tell the story. Let me live to tell the story.
So you are the scriptwriter of the story.
So why Iyaloja, right? Why
not governor of Lagos?
Why not governor?
Who is going to make you governor?
It's the people.
I get that. So
this woman came out to be president of America now.
Clinton's wife. She almost won.
How many people? How many
women were the ones that voted for Donald Trump? The same women who said Donald Trump has a history of touching women's backside, of molesting women. He had that history.
And that's one thing
he doesn't treat his wife right.
Women really are their own problem.
You see women who wanted to die for, they still went to after Donald Trump lost election. They still joined that force that went to break into Capitol Hill or whatever. Now, so you need to ask yourself, maybe there are women who are not women.
We like sounding like the victim.
Yeah. So those women now say, we agitate. See the American football team, for example. They are the ones who have won all the trophies. The American male football team has won nothing. One of the most useless teams. Yet,
sorry, American football
when
team.
it's time to go to the World Cup, they will charter private jet. The female team we use
economy,
whatever, commercial, right? But they have taken them to court right now to say, no, this cannot be. And I think they're going to win. So you need to stand for yourself, right? Push your own.
Yeah.
Because you see.
Can we even first of all agree that it's Bukky that will go for us? Let's even start from there. Because it will be like, what about me? What about you? What makes you better than me? That's how the whole thing is.
I was
the man that will now come and try and settle our fight. And then we now see
I don't know what nation I think it's Denmark or Sweden. I was doing a research. Is it Denmark or Sweden? I can't remember. When they wanted to fight for equal pay at work, the women agreed that they were not going to give sex to their husband. As in, they brought parity almost immediately, right? So if you said today, if next election, if a woman is not going to be VP,
we're not sleeping again.
Every woman don't have sex with your husband.
Or even outside. Every woman.
Everywhere.
Let's forget it's only inside
the men will come to their knees. But not lie, some women don't go green. They will go behind. So these are the things that if you are not formidable, there's no unity among you. Then don't complain that because it's a convenient argument. We are marginalized. Who is marginalizing you? Am I marginalizing you on this show now? Nobody's so
You always marginalize me, Prince.
it can become something in your head that does like everybody say
believe.
everyone that blows say has joined Illuminati. Where is Illuminati headquarters? I want to join.
Please, Abi. Maybe they'll pay me because they're making everybody big.
Nobody knows the address, but everybody talks about it. So some people, the way they talk about Illuminati, you will think
that they're inside.
But okay, show me. You know Illuminati. Show me the address. Where's the form? I want to fill it. They don't know. So I think some myths have been created that has found expression in people's head to say, oh, they are marginalizing. No. They say, don't go out to before you know. And it pays the power brokers to make you feel that way because you are the ones defeating yourself. So every time say, Akunkuma will not win. Akunkuma will not win. But women will still not turn back. Say, nobody's going to. Because see, I believe let the competent person get the job done. Right? So,
but I hear you when you say that you shouldn't, we at this day and in this day and age, saying that I'm the first female XYZ to be XYZ and making it sound like it's an accomplishment. It shouldn't be that way. I hear you, but the reason why it is
necessary.
It is a statement is because there still aren't enough women, and that the bigger problem is not me saying, oh, I'm the first woman, and so you think the ginger. No, it's not even about that. I think the bigger underlying issue is that in this day and age, we still feel as a people, as a nation, as a global village, whatever it is, we still feel the need to establish that a woman has now taken position, whereas it should be more of somebody that is competent and that is viable for the position has taken
power
place.
The power I think
so it's not the woman's problem.
The power I think women have,
it is still a society problem.
Who is the society?
It's made up of man and woman, but it's still a society
who is
problem.
creating the society?
Man and woman, more man, because it's still a patriarchal society.
It's not even correct. Let me tell you the society.
Yes.
The power the women have. Let's take Nigeria. As at last time I checked, the person that spends most time with the children is the woman. Which means the future of Nigeria is with you.
Yeah.
Men are going around making money, they don't have time. What are you planting into your boy? So if every woman agrees to do it,
girl. All your girl.
If you agree to do it right, you can create a silent revolution that nobody. You just realize that your boys get into the future, they respect. My son didn't know that it's women's job to cook. As in, he didn't know. The first place he saw it was social studies textbook, primary 3. And it was a major argument. To say, what is the meaning of this one? I thought human beings eat, human beings should cook. Because of the example we modeled for him. So you have the power to change that future by how you, in fact, even women who are not married can begin to adopt. There are so many boys on the street. They need mother care. You can adopt them, begin to give them food, they will defer to you. Check all the greatest men in the world. Obama talks about his grandmother. Right? In fact, it's almost like they don't talk about their fathers anymore.
They all talk about
Tunde Bakare talks about his
T-Rex talks about his father. Everybody talks about their father. Bill Gates talks about they talk about his mother. Elon Musk talks about his mother. So it means that women have power to produce strong men.
More power than
more power. So what are we doing? So if I produce a president, will I say I'm marginalized? I'm not marginalized, right? Because what has happened is that I've become a school. My graduate is now performing. So if you don't like what you are saying in your graduate, you ask yourself, what curriculum did I run?
I think with what you're saying, I think then there is another problem, which is that
problem no they finish.
Not they finish.
There's
another problem, which is that we don't know how to acknowledge every good thing in us.
Absolutely.
Are you talking about women?
That's a major problem.
I'm talking about. It's general, but I'm also talking about women. Is to be able to acknowledge your worth
power
and the power that as a woman you wield.
Because I want to join Illuminati. If you know the address, give me. I want to blow.
So
follow me.
So I
Stick
think
with
so
me,
I
praise.
think that is also a problem. Being able to acknowledge and express the good thing that you carry as a woman. And then again, that also comes down to how society has, how we've been conditioned.
Who is this society?
They.
So I don't know why I keep asking me who is this society, because
They.
it is the systems. It's come from
Who
somewhere.
are these systems? Who are the owners of?
It is the people. It's the same people.
But it's like,
So the fact that you are liberated from it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
So why don't we become the next?
Hey, that's just you, me, and her. I'm talking about the people that are out there.
Oh, these people, that's how they started.
Yes, but you
See,
still cannot.
I have learned not to.
Yes,
I hear you. I have learned not to be at effect.
Yeah.
I want to be at cause.
Yes.
I want to handle the things I can. I hate for my life. I ran away from home when my dad wanted to make me to go and join seminary.
Yeah,
Because I have seen my father's life, that when we're growing up, we lived in the house vicarage. I mean, the vicarage that church could afford. We lived in kind of places that were bed bugs. So I ran away from home. And when my father, I said, I want to be absolutely, the determinant of my future. And I want to live in the kind of house I want to live, not the one church gives me. We all need to take responsibilities. All right. And because we can say society. Okay. We'll be saying society will be 70.
We'll be 72.
We'll be 90.
90
Then our children will now begin to say society.
Yeah.
Society. We are underestimate. You see, one of the easiest ways I look at it is the nation called Israel is somebody's family. It was even a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
But that nation today, you can't write them or push them aside. Right? So how did they've given us a template that your own family can also become something. We can right this wrong, in the sense that how do we ensure that we even know who we are? An average woman out there, if you ask them, I mean, we were in a meeting in Abuja, and there was this lady who was collecting a lot of grants, get child empowerment. She was collecting a lot of money. So, and I am an expert at asking stupid questions.
We know that.
So I sat there, I watched her. I've done this. I've not seen any girl empowered, but she's collected a lot of money. So I asked, Madam, can you define who a girl is? She couldn't define a girl. She said, please, I've never thought about it.
What?
But you have collected money. You are doing girl. How can you be empowering what you don't understand? So that is the foundation. That if you ask an average woman, please do that survey against next week. Let us come and give them randomly select women from tomorrow to say, can you define who is a woman is? And then follow up by saying, have you ever studied that concept, womanhood, in your life since you have been born? You will be shocked. People have not.
No, I haven't.
So they just call you woman, you accepted it, you don't know what it is, but you're not saying they are. What?
Leslie has a message for you.
What's he saying?
Please stop frustrating Bookie.
Principal, you better come and bail her out. Maybe you are the defender of the. At the end of the day, you are fighting for what you don't understand. So you have not even started the fight. So they give you what look. It's like someone who says, people say, I want to be loved. Then I ask them, what is love? They don't know.
Yeah, when he kisses me.
So why would they swindle you? Because you don't know what you are looking for.
Yeah.
So when your identity is
Like
not
people that say,
defined,
I want to be rich. Okay, what will you do with 2 million?
if women don't come together to say this is the definition of woman, then don't complain when they look at you and they call you a lot and they call you all kinds of things that you are not.
But you see what I said initially.
That's
what I said before, that women have not been that acknowledging that another problem, right, is not being able to acknowledge every good thing.
Who will acknowledge it for you? Is it man that will not?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's you're not getting me. It is still a problem. And so the solution is that women need to, first of all, understand their identity.
So you start understanding your identity.
I don't understand. What's this man saying?
No, but I understand what he's saying. I do understand what he's saying.
I don't understand.
So rather than saying, because the way you keep the way you're saying it is like people are still victims. Okay. As a victim, can you decide that
it's no longer breaking news that they are victim
anymore?
Yes.
And
yes.
So can there be I don't like how I'm being treated.
Yes.
I now want to be treated this way.
Good. You now mentor 10 other girls.
Yes, then I want to first of all know who I am.
Yes.
Then you go through all kinds of personal development.
Yes, but
you get to that point. You are now able to say other women this is now who we are. Now let's start to
That
show
is the real
people.
women empowerment.
That is when empowerment starts.
So I don't understand why you're saying that I should first of all know who I am.
Because it starts with you.
It does actually.
You are the society.
Why
You are
is
looking
this
for
man-
a society that we don't know
why is this
exists.
man-
You are the society.
The reason why I made that statement, I know, but the reason why I made
Gotta
that
go.
statement is because when he was talking about, when a woman, I've given birth to a president, and this is my product, and this is what, and it is identifying that if I can even acknowledge what I have done, what
Yes.
I am capable of, that starts to solve a problem.
And you have done a lot.
Why are you talking to me?
Because you're a woman.
No, I'm not talking about
I
me.
want to talk about you.
No, don't talk about me. I'm identifying a problem that exists. And I'm saying that this is from what you're saying, this is a problem. And it's not just women. People generally, when you talk about how
Yes,
you don't
you are
want
correct.
to, you don't know how to even
I am Sakosha.
praise
Yes,
and
so
I am Sakosha.
and acknowledge you.
I am Sakosha. Sakosha.
So
Non-nationally.
that problem exists. And I'm not going to say
Sakosha.
you can say whatever you like, but that is where I'm coming from. So don't turn it to me and say, like, I understand where that
Let me tell you why I'm turning it. Let me tell you why I'm turning it back
and
at you.
how it can be changed.
Let me tell you why I'm turning it back at you. I have attended seminars where I'm hearing you are sounding like the people I've had all my life.
Yes.
They will do seminars, 5 speakers.
Yeah.
They will say all these things.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they won't drive it back to
Yeah. Take you home.
what can I do?
Absolutely.
Right? Because you are at the beginning of a new society. Every society starts with a human being.
So what do you want me to do?
Start
Start a revolution.
No, start to teach women
Start to
how
do.
to really know them.
Leave you out.
I mean,
Enjoy you. Get into a place, sit in the right place,
Take
take control, take
Yes,
charge.
shine.
Then they'll begin to
I-
let your
I
light
do
so
that.
shine. Then let them come and meet you and say, wow,
What is this about
where,
you? There's something
let me
about
tell you, people say
You'll
to
be
me,
alright.
you know the thing people say, you know what people say to me about in Nigeria? They say praise is arrogant.
Oh yes, you are.
but you are.
They say I'm arrogant. And why are they saying I'm arrogant? I am not like
Hi, Larry.
to shake and be no. I'm going to say my mind. You can't kill me. You can't. I don't have to have billions in my bank account, right? But I know how to do me,
Yeah.
right? And you are not going to make me shrink
Yeah.
because
Just
of your greatness. No,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do
Yeah.
that. That's what we must begin to learn.
I absolutely
Once we
agree.
have more people like us in that,
Yeah.
then we mentor more people.
Yeah.
Society begins to change.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in a world where I'm made a leader because I have pennies. No,
Yeah.
I want to live in a world where let the best person lead me,
Absolutely.
right? And I'm able to learn. My wife changed my life when it comes to money management, right? And I can't forget how she made me accountable.
Straightened you.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that's the way I said. Anyway, we have overshot our time.
Yeah. I personally agree with the fact that it's easy to always point fingers, and say they, he, she, did this to me.
But not me.
But when we take response, when we look at it and say, okay, how did I contribute to make this thing the way it is? And how can I then do something different to make sure that this thing doesn't continue? If all of us can stand in that kind of power, then we'll get somewhere. And like PF said, if women come together to actually say they want to do something, we can create a governor in Lagos.
Why
We
not?
can create a president in Nigeria, and it will be female. But we're not
together.
We're not together.
We're not together.
So it's easy to point fingers and say it's the man that has marginalized us and has done this and has done that. But together, can we even agree that you will go for us?
Mhm.
And that's the first problem. We don't agree. Why? Why should it be Buki? Why should it be that? Why can't it be me? Is it not the same sense that Buki has that I have? Meanwhile, it isn't.
I'm even more. I'm more.
I'm even finer.
finer.
I mean, even when it isn't.
Our wala is much.
And we're emotional as well. We're emotional beings.
Meanwhile,
Oh, too much.
We're emotional beings on top of it. So
People like say that apple winner, that they never
on a
come
normal
out.
day, we should really come together, but we aren't. So until we start to really do that genuinely,
Yeah.
then we can really then say that we're taking power back and really fighting for our for equality and our space.
I don't even think anybody took
there's
power.
too much
from-
agenda
from-
and motivation for what the international, especially in Nigeria and probably even in Africa, what the international communities are willing to fund.
Yeah.
you know,
All in
let's
the name-
become the
all
fund.
in the
Let's
name
become the
of-
funding agency.
of,
Yeah.
That I mean,
of
maybe
feminism
someday
and
we're going to
women
discuss these
empowerment.
Quakers on
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah.
Those guys created
Companies.
economies for themselves. They could fund anything. They created Cadbury. They created Nike,
Lloyd's
Sony.
Bank, Barclays Bank,
What are we talking about?
Amnesty
What
International,
can't we fund?
Western Union, like better.
Let's become trillionaires.
Yeah,
We are
you know,
Shakosha.
Ishakosha.
The non-national. Guys, we'll see you some
Thank
other
you very
time.
much.
Have a
Thanks, guys.
fantastic.
Thank you. Have a
Fantastic.
wonderful evening.
Yeah.
Love.